Do you feel like your mind never stops? Even when everything is quiet around you, inside your head, there is constant noise. No matter what you do, thoughts keep coming back again and again. You replay old conversations, thinking what you should have said differently. You imagine worst-case scenarios that may never happen. You overthink small situations until they feel much bigger than they really are. And slowly, without noticing, your inner peace starts to disappear. You are physically present, but mentally you are always somewhere in the past or the future. And because of this, even good moments stop feeling peaceful. But here is the truth. The problem is not your life. The problem is not the people around you. The problem is how your mind reacts to life. In today's world, overthinking has become normal. People think more, but understand less. They analyze everything, question everything, and still feel confused inside. You may look calm on the outside. You may be smiling, working, talking normally with people, but inside your mind, there's a completely different world. A world that is noisy, restless, and tired. One thought leads to another. One worry creates 10 more worries. And your mind never truly rests, even when your body is resting. This constant mental activity slowly drains your peace, your focus, and even your happiness. Without realizing it, you start living more in your head than in real life. This video will help you understand something very important. Why you overthink in the first place. How overthinking slowly takes control of your emotions and decisions. And most importantly, how you can start freeing yourself from it. We will explore this not just from psychology, but from deep ancient wisdom. Through the teachings and awareness of Gautama Buddha, you will discover a simple but powerful way to observe your mind, instead of being controlled by it. And once you learn this, you will begin to see your thoughts in a completely different way. Not as enemies, but as something you can understand, manage, and finally let go of. Overthinking is not just thinking a lot. It is not intelligence. It is not deep reflection. Overthinking is something different. It is thinking without control. It is when your mind keeps running on its own, like a machine that cannot be turned off. You are not guiding your thoughts anymore. Your thoughts are guiding you. And the strange part is, you feel like you are solving problems. But in reality, you are just repeating them. The same ideas come again and again. The same fears. The same memories. The same questions. But there is no final answer. No conclusion. No peace. It feels like your mind is working very hard, but actually it is going in circles. Two main forms of overthinking. Overthinking usually comes in two major forms. Worrying about the future. This is when your mind starts creating imaginary situations. What if something goes wrong? What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I lose everything? Notice something important here. Nothing has happened yet, but your mind is already suffering as if it has. You are living in a future that does not exist and reacting to it as if it is real. This creates fear, anxiety, and pressure, and slowly, you lose your ability to enjoy the present moment, regretting the past. The second form is looking backward again and again. Why did I say that? I should have done better. Why did I make that mistake? You replay old moments like a broken video. But the problem is, you are trying to change something that already ended. The past is no longer alive, but your mind keeps giving it energy, as if thinking about it can rewrite it. Instead of learning from it, you start suffering inside it, the mental trap. So your mind gets stuck between two places, the past and the future. One does not exist anymore. The other has not arrived yet. And in between these two illusions, you completely forget the only real moment you have, the present. This is why overthinking feels so heavy, because you are never actually here. Your body is in the present, but your mind is constantly elsewhere. And when the mind is not in the present, even small things start to feel overwhelming. Deep truth, Buddhist insight style. In Buddhist understanding, suffering often grows when the mind loses awareness of the present moment, because the present is always simple. But the mind makes it complicated by traveling elsewhere, Overthinking is not a problem of reality. It is a problem of attention. Where your attention goes, your experience follows. Now the question is, why does this happen? Why does the mind keep creating thoughts that disturb your peace instead of protecting it? According to Buddhist wisdom, the root of overthinking is very simple, yet very deep. It comes from attachment and fear. You are attached to outcomes. You want life to move in a certain direction. You want people to behave a certain way. You want situations to always go according to your expectations. And when life does not follow that plan, your mind starts to react. It begins to create endless thoughts, trying to fix, predict, and control everything in advance. Because deep inside there's fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of loss, fear of not being enough. And when fear mixes with attachment, the mind becomes restless. It keeps asking questions that have no final answer. What if this goes wrong? What if I lose everything? What if I am not ready? But the truth is very clear. You cannot control everything in life. You can plan, but you cannot guarantee outcomes. You can prepare, but you cannot predict everything. And the more you try to control what is naturally uncontrollable, the more anxious, heavy, and confused your mind becomes. It's like trying to hold water tightly in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips away. Another powerful reason for overthinking is identity. You start believing that your thoughts are who you are. So when a negative thought appears, you don't see it as just a passing mental activity. You see it as truth. You see it as reality. You see it as yourself. And that is where the problem begins. Because once you identify with every thought, you become trapped inside your own mind. But in Buddhist understanding, this is a misunderstanding. Thoughts are not you. They are not permanent. They are not facts. They are not identity. They are simply mental events, temporary patterns that appear in the mind and then disappear. Just like clouds passing through the sky, thoughts come and thoughts go, but the sky remains untouched. In the same way, you are not the thoughts. You are the awareness that notices them. And when you begin to see this clearly, overthinking slowly starts losing its power over you. Overthinking often feels harmless at first. It feels like you are just thinking carefully. It feels like you are being responsible, trying to prepare for life. But slowly, without you even noticing, it begins to damage your inner world. It steals something you can never get back, your present moment. Because when your mind is constantly living in what-if scenarios, you are never fully here. Your body may be in the present, but your mind is always somewhere else. And in that state, life starts passing by without being truly experienced. Overthinking also drains your mental energy. Every unnecessary thought consumes attention. Every repeated worry takes emotional strength. Every imaginary problem creates invisible stress inside you. And because of this, even simple tasks start feeling heavy. Your mind becomes tired without doing anything physical. Then slowly, the effects start showing in your behavior. You begin to doubt yourself more often. You question your decisions even after making them. You hesitate before taking action. You overanalyze small choices until they feel complicated. And with time, this leads to something deeper. You lose confidence in your own judgment. You stop trusting yourself because your mind keeps telling you that you might be wrong. But the most dangerous part of overthinking is not stress and not even confusion. It is illusion. Most of your thoughts are not based on reality. They are not facts. They are not predictions. They are not truths. They are simply mental stories created by your mind. Stories about failure that has not happened. Stories about rejection that does not exist. Stories about problems that may never come. And yet, you react to them as if they are real. You feel fear for something that is only imagined. You feel pain for something that has not occurred. You suffer in advance for a future that is not guaranteed. This is where the mind becomes powerful, but also dangerous, because it can create suffering without any real cause. And that is why Buddhist wisdom says something very important. Much of human suffering does not come from reality itself, but from the mind's interpretation of reality. When you begin to see this clearly, you slowly start to separate truth from imagination. And in that separation, you find the first space of real peace. The teachings of Gautama Buddha explain this truth in a very simple but profound way. The human mind is often compared to a wild monkey, restless, unstable, always moving. It jumps from one thought to another without rest, one memory to another, one worry to another, never staying in one place for long. One moment it is in the past. The next moment it is in the future, but very rarely does it remain in the present. If you do not understand this nature of the mind, and if you do not train it, then slowly it begins to control you instead of serving you. And when the mind is in control, peace becomes difficult to find. Buddha taught that human suffering does not come from the outside world alone. It comes from within, from attachment, desire, and ignorance. Attachment means holding on too tightly to thoughts, people, or outcomes. Desire means constantly wanting things to be different than they are. Ignorance means not seeing how the mind actually works. When these three combine, the mind becomes heavy, emotional, and restless. And in that state, overthinking naturally grows. Because when you are attached to your thoughts, you believe they are important. So you repeat them, you analyze them, you feed them with more attention. And what you feed becomes stronger. But there's another truth that Buddha revealed. When you fight your thoughts, you actually give them more energy. It is like trying to push away waves in the ocean. The more force you use, the stronger the resistance becomes. In the same way, when you resist your thoughts, they return again and again. But Buddha gave a different approach. A simple but powerful method, observation. When you observe your thoughts without judgment, without fear, without attachment, something very important happens. The thought loses its emotional power. It may still appear, but it no longer controls you. It becomes just a passing movement in the mind, not a command you must follow. This is a key teaching. Not control, not suppression, not fighting, but awareness. Because the moment you become aware of a thought, you are no longer fully inside it. You are standing slightly outside it, watching it pass. And in that small space of awareness, freedom begins. Now let's talk about the solution. Because understanding overthinking is not enough. You also need to know how to deal with it in real life. And the good news is, you don't need to fight your mind. You just need to understand it differently. Step 1, observe, don't react. When a thought comes into your mind, your first reaction is usually to engage with it. You start analyzing it. You start arguing with it. You start building a story around it. But in this step, you do something different. You pause. You simply observe the thought without reacting. No judgment, no fear, no resistance, just awareness. And in your mind, gently say, this is just a thought, not a truth, not a command, just a thought passing through. Because the moment you observe a thought, instead of reacting to it, you create distance between you and the mind. And in that distance, the thought begins to lose control over you. Step 2, focus on your breath. Your breath is one of the most powerful anchors to reality. It always happens in the present moment. It never lives in the past, and it never worries about the future. So when your mind becomes crowded with thoughts, bring your attention back to your breath. Take a slow, deep breath in, feel the air entering your body, and gently breathe out. Release tension, release pressure, release mental noise. Repeat this for a few minutes. At first, your mind may still wander. That is natural, but every time you return to your breath, you are training your mind to come back to the present. And slowly, the inner noise begins to settle. Step 3, return to the present. Now ask yourself a very simple question. What is happening right now? Not what happened yesterday, not what might happen tomorrow, but right now. Look around you. Notice where you are. Feel your body. Sense your surroundings. Because peace does not exist in memory, and it does not exist in imagination. It only exists in the present moment. The more you return to now, the weaker overthinking becomes. Step 4. Accept uncertainty. One of the biggest causes of overthinking is the need for certainty. You want to know what will happen next. You want guarantees. You want control over outcomes. But life does not work that way. Life is naturally uncertain. And instead of fighting this truth, you begin to accept it. You remind yourself, I don't need to control everything. Some things will unfold in ways I cannot predict. And that is okay, because acceptance brings peace, while resistance creates stress. When you stop trying to control every outcome, your mind becomes lighter and calmer. Step 5. Limit mental noise. Your mind is already processing too much information every day. Social media updates, opinions from others, constant comparison, endless scrolling. All of this creates mental noise. And mental noise feeds overthinking. So one of the most powerful steps is simple. Reduce unnecessary input. Give your mind space to breathe. Spend less time consuming random information and more time in silence, in real life, in awareness. Because a quiet mind is a clear mind, and a clear mind does not overthink everything. Start small, but stay consistent. You don't need a complicated routine. You don't need special conditions. And you don't need to be perfect at it. All you need is a few minutes each day, just for yourself. Every day, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably. Keep your body relaxed. And for 5 to 10 minutes, do nothing except this. Observe your thoughts. Let them come and let them go. Don't try to stop them. Don't try to control them. Don't judge them. Just notice them as if you were watching the sky and clouds slowly passing by. At the same time, gently bring your attention to your breath. Feel each inhale and each exhale. Nothing more, nothing less. If your mind wanders, and it will, that is completely natural. The practice is not about having a silent mind. The practice is about returning every time you get lost. Again and again, you simply come back to your breath. That coming back is the real training, not perfection, but awareness. Because over time, something subtle begins to change inside you. Your reactions become slower. Your thoughts become clearer. Your mind becomes less crowded. And slowly, without force, your inner world starts to soften. You begin to notice space between thoughts. You begin to feel moments of calm, even in daily life. And in that space, overthinking starts to lose its strength. Not because you fought it, but because you understood it. So remember this. You don't need to change your entire life in one day. You just need to sit, breathe, and observe every single day. And little by little, your mind will become calmer, steadier, and more peaceful. Remember this. Your mind is one of the most powerful things you will ever experience in your life. It can become your greatest enemy, or it can become your greatest tool. And the difference between the two is simply awareness. The choice is always in your hands. You can either become lost in every thought that appears, or you can learn to observe them without being controlled. You can either let your thoughts drive your emotions, or you can learn to pause and respond with clarity. Control your thoughts, or allow them to control you. There is no middle path. And once you truly begin to understand this deeply, not just intellectually, but in your daily life, something inside you starts to change. You begin to feel a kind of peace that is not dependent on circumstances, not on success, not on approval, not on external conditions. Because real peace is not something you find outside. It is something that appears when the mind becomes clear. And that clarity does not come from changing the world around you. It comes from understanding what is happening inside your mind. When you stop believing every thought, when you stop reacting to every emotion, when you simply observe your inner world with awareness, a quiet space begins to open within you, And in that space, there is calm. If this message helped you in any way, take a moment to pause and reflect on it. Don't just watch it and forget it. Let it stay with you even after the video ends. Because understanding the mind is not a one-time lesson. It is a lifelong practice. Thank you for watching. This is Wisdom Hub Buddha, where ancient Buddhist wisdom meets modern life understanding.